All right, I had to delete a couple of videos. So yeah, so our worship, our worship was something that we did for ourselves, a daily supplication. And because we knew that the being that created everything was the same being that we are, we knew how to like transfer within with the right intention, and that would be worship, and that would also be a way to create. And so to create like other universes through our mind, right, and create like the environment for our people in our mind, and create like their day in our mind, and make it a sunny day and all that from our mind, right? And the false priests, the counterfeit spirits, they knew this because they were here, and they were here, like I said, one and then zero. They were here when everything was formed with power. So I'm saying, I'm not gonna say the beginning, because like I told you, one then zero. So they were here when everybody started establishing their own dominance as well. So they know looking out for yourself is the true form of worship. And it'll make you do everything, it'll make you take care of everything else outside of you if you know how to like truly take care of yourself. You see, not be selfish and things of that nature, and not be like a glutton. But if you know how to truly pleasure yourself and take care of yourself, and not look for outside influences, if you know, then you'll start finding out that's actually worship. And that's the reason you feel good, or it feels good, because that's actually worship. And the Bible talks about that every time man eats, he doesn't even know he's worshiping God. So to eat alone, they say, if you're not a righteous being, they say when you eat alone, when you hide in your house eating alone, they say you eating your own defilement. You know what I mean? If you're a righteous being and a real priest, the real priest, we've had to cloak ourselves to avoid persecution, which you know was religious persecution, and just more persecution as well. But we had to cloak ourselves, so we had to say that we were Christians, or had to say that we was this religion or that religion. We made Christianity, see what I'm saying, but not in the way that y'all are trying to fake a narrative and make it about one man when it really is our whole race. The word for mummy was Christ, K-R-S-T, mean mummy, Christ, anointed. So yeah, man, but those are our little brothers, like the white race and younger races. Those are our little brothers that, from what I was taught and what I truly believe, just based on just knowing science, being a scientist myself, and knowing the dominant gene, right, knowing I have the dominant gene, right, was that Yaqub took them from his own gene and kept it away from the darker gene that he had, and just kept grafting it over and over and breeding the lighter skinned people with lighter skinned people, till eventually he got the Flugeroids, the white race, right, that had to live in the caves. They had to end up living in the caves because they were driven out. The kings of our land drove them out because they were just causing so much ruckus. But they was like our lower self manifested in the physical, right? Like they say, the Sinim, the Samim, or the Dero, these like elephant nose shaped beings that live underground. And they say they were the grafted manifestation of evil out of the Sinim, or the Terra, who actually is us, who came here a couple million years ago as well. Cone heads, right? But it's not really like a cone. It's just elongated. It's not a cone. It's elongated. And they called the Sinim. And because they were black scientists who came from the Andromedans and came from other star constellations, and came to live in the interior of our Earth, because they seen the surface of our Earth was already inhabited by other black extraterrestrials, what they call human beings, right? We all have our own different look. We the Titans, we the Syrians. So like my head, it's a point, it's a sharp point, elongated backwards. But you got different ones who got the head elongated backwards like that. You got the ones elongated like that. It's because we a whole different school of niggas who run. What I mean by run, like we run through the universe, right? And when it's slowed down, you see me in this form, but we run through the universe. We don't sit and play around. So that's how you know who you are, right? If you don't sit and play around a whole lot. Like you always trying to get to your destination mentally. That's how you know you wanted the main. But you can tell by your head shape. You can just tell. Don't be tricked by the melanin, because you can get melanin from anywhere. The black scientists back in the day, they knew this. I'm talking about thousands of years ago, hundreds of thousands. They knew this. So they knew how to make a man from animal and give him melanin and mix it with his genes and make it look like it's a real black man. And that's a lot of what you got walking around today. So that's why you get a lot of the animalistic traits. But I got off on a tangent about the Sinim because that's my lineage. Like, just to explain this, to explain the Sinim, high-pitched voices, talking like a nasally tone, telepathic, real telepathic. But yeah, the Dero, right, or the Samim, are the grafted manifestation of evil out of the Sinim on their home planet. So the Sinim had to keep looking out, taking care of the Dero. They had to keep like controlling the Dero and stopping the Dero from like villaging the Shayuk and other black extraterrestrials that lived inside of the earth, which their skulls have been found all over the earth. But we are the Shayuk. So this is why when we see it, it's not a fascination to us like with them. That's because they are our little brother. They are the grafted manifestation. I don't want to say evil, but they are the grafted manifestation of us, out of us, and then put into a whole other body. And this is why they worship us, but they got to do it in secret. Or they worship you to the point where it's like, you they God now. Like if you ever been somebody's black friend, you know, or even in a group. That's never really been me. I did it when I was younger, but that's because I didn't know I was in the lion's den, right? And the Satan lion, not the real lion, but the yang lion, the dark side to the light, right? Like a jealous little brother lion. So that's when I would be like in groups of white. But that's why if you ever been a black guy in a group of white people, you like their God, and they ain't ashamed to let you know that, like you their God. You see what I'm saying? Jimi Hendrix and beings like that, like you their God. And they can't explain it, but they spend their whole life researching who the black man is and who they are. That's because they come from the black man. So, and the black woman, the white people. So that's the same thing that happened with the Dero. Was that because we black scientists, we learned how to graft manifestation. We learned how to graft evil out of ourselves on our home planet and on other planets. Beta Andromeda, Sirius, different constellations. Pleiadian, I can just go on, the Bootes constellation, Alpha Centaurus. I can just go on and on and on and on and on, yo. Like, we everywhere. So, yeah, man. So the false priests knew that taking care of ourselves was worship. So they try to stop that. And they've made white people, the fake priests have made white people to counteract us. They've made religions to counteract us. Taking care of yourself is really how you're going to be able to save the universe. Just by you being here, you saving the planet. But you can't be fooled and go backwards and start letting these fake mindsets, what we call friends that we don't think are up to our level, you need to get away from them, because your level is a level that's been around for a good period of time. So while you just trying to have a friend, you don't even know what you're doing. You trying to have a friend, you don't even know you the sustainer. You give energy to beings. So sooner you stop feeling sorry for yourself, the sooner you can start eating healthy and getting on the right path. So that's my message. Do-wah-oo. Peace.